What's happening, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another stream. This is the Game Week 10 or 11, should I say, deadline stream. 7 minutes to go, ladies and gentlemen. But yes, we are here rather late than never, as always. It is the Saturday 3:30 deadline stream, so we are just over 7 minutes or over 6 minutes, should I say, until its deadline. So I'm gonna quickly take you through my team, and we can go through everything that's gonna happen in game weeks 11. So I've quickly shared my screen, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, last week I got 42 points. What a disappointing week that was. I cannot sugarcoat how last week went. It was nothing short of bad, if I'm being honest. Got 42 points. I didn't have Solanke, who did well for people. Henderson reverted back to type, back to giving me his usual points of 1 or 2. I'll take the 2-pointer. Mikalenko 2, Gabriel with 2, Murillo with 6 points. In midfield, I had only Johnson returning with that goal. Saka blanked, Palmer blanked as my captain as well. Even Brian Mbeumo was disappointing, so was Brentford. In attack, at least my transfer did pay off right away. As Jürgen Strand Larsen came with an 8-pointer. He scored a goal and 2 bonus points. Kai Havertz, disappointing, is now flagged with a cut that happened in the Champions League. Then my vice captain, Erling Haaland, with the 2-pointer. I was never going to play him, to be fair. He got 9 points. Then Sepp van der Berg, his usual disappointing self, with 1. And my other transfer was Lewis Hall with 8 points, which I'm happy about, even though I was never going to play him. Yeah, it was a bad week. I dropped from 680k to almost 800,000. I'll take that, given that I haven't played none of my chips as of yet. But yeah, we still have over 4 minutes, so let me quickly take you through my team. Dean Henderson in goal, Gabriel, then we have Lewis Hall and Murillo. That's my back line. Then in midfield, I have Johnson, Saka, Palmer, who is currently flagged because of that tackle by Lisandro Martinez. We will go through that when we look back after the deadline. Mbeumo, home to Bournemouth. I think he'll do well this week. Then my attack of Strand Larsen, Havertz, and Captain HAALAND. My bench now, remember, I've changed my structure last week by selling Jefferson and bringing in Strand Larsen. So that allows me to now have 8 attackers. That means I'm going to bench Morgan Rogers this week away to Liverpool. He can get a return in those difficult fixtures, but yeah, last week it was a lucky corner, one can say. Sir Van der Berg, I should be playing him. That was the plan, but Brentford defense abysmal, so I'm going to keep him first up, and Mikalenko. My dilemmas, I do not have any. I am going to actually roll with it. You know, guys, I like to have those 2 free transfers in the bank so that I can be more flexible in the future. If I want to bring in Salah, the only way I can bring in Salah is by selling Haaland, and I can do that in 2 moves. So I don't want to take a -4 to sell Haaland. Yeah. So I am going to roll my transfers for after the international break. I have Havertz and Palmer, whom I believe will actually play, but you never know. I still have Rogers and Van der Beek to come in the bench, should I say. So yeah, I'm going to roll with it. I'm not too confident because I don't see Arsenal doing well and against Chelsea. So yeah, it's a difficult fixture for both Chelsea and Arsenal, and I have 4 players there tomorrow. So yeah, it's not looking well. I don't have Salah as well, but I'll keep the faith. As I've said, I want to keep the faith in Saka, Palmer, and Haaland as my big 3 hitters. I've had them since game week 1. I've not sold none of them. So yeah, as much as the Arsenal fixtures are looking bad this week, I have to be patient with them because I've been there during the tough fixtures. Newcastle and Liverpool, they blanked, but I was there. So now after the Chelsea fixture, after the international break, I actually believe the Arsenal fixtures are the best now. Forest home, West Ham away, United at home, Fulham away, Everton away. Yeah, I will want to have them. I'm gonna roll, ladies and gentlemen. So there's no panic, last minute decisions this week for me. I'm looking to have the two free transfers after the international break. So yeah, this is my squad. This is locked. I'm not too optimistic this week, as I've mentioned. Arsenal, Chelsea playing one another, having four players there doesn't bode well for me. I do not have. I don't like just having the one Spurs attacker, as we have seen and we have covered through the channel. Is that Spurs have the best attack in the league this season? This is by XG. Yes, I am by XGI, should I say. They have created the highest XGI in the league. And yeah, they just find a way to create chances, and they're playing the worst defense in the league in Ipswich. So I would have liked to have Solanke. I can easily bring Havertz for Solanke, but next week you'll see here that Spurs are actually playing. They're playing away to Sete. So I don't want to have a like two Spurs attack. It's a few seconds until deadline, ladies and gentlemen. Lock up your team. I'm gonna quickly take a screenshot. So I'm gonna make my screen just a bit small for now to take a screenshot to share on X. Yeah, deadline will be anytime from now, a few seconds. I'm planning to roll. If you've only joined now, I'm rolling my transfer. I'm gonna, yeah, so that I can have the opportunity to be flexible after the international break, so that I can make two transfers. As you've seen last week, I made a transfer of Konza out and Hall in, and Strand Larsen in, Jefferson in place of Jefferson. So I like to have the two free transfers, or more than one free transfers, because it allows me to upgrade elsewhere. I only played 7 attackers from Gameweek 1. Jefferson was my 8th attacker. He was a dud. Like, he didn't play. He's already loaned out to Watford. So now this allows me to have Strand Larsen. We've covered him. The fixtures are too great. As I've said, from next week, I believe Arsenal's will be good, the best, but Wolves are not far off. This week, like Southampton, Fulham, Bournemouth, Everton, West Ham, Ipswich, these are just great fixtures. I believe that Mateus Cunha is the better option. That he's the better option to have for Wolves, but he's 6.7. That's just too much for me. I think I can use the 1.1 elsewhere. Actually, I don't have anything in the bank, as you can see. Yeah, nothing in the bank for me. I'm gonna roll. It is past deadline, ladies and gentlemen. I've hoped that you have locked up your teams. This is a late early kick. We don't have an early kickoff, should I say, this week. So the deadline has moved to 3:30 this week, and we have 4 fixtures at 5 o'clock, or the 3 o'clock kickoffs in England. We have Brentford versus Bournemouth, Crystal Palace versus Fulham, West Ham versus Everton, Wolves, Southampton, followed by the tea time kickoff, the 7:30 one, Brighton at home to the champions, Manchester City. Yeah. So Liverpool and Aston Villa, I think that would have been the early kickoff. So they've decided to put it at 10 o'clock. I don't have a player there, and I won't be watching that match, guys. Like, yeah, Liverpool are doing very well. I don't have any Liverpool player. Yeah, I'm hedging my bets. And I think Liverpool players are good to have. They have the best defense in the league. They've kept the most clean sheets in the league. They have Salah, whom I believe looks like the better option than Haaland, or he has been looking. Yeah, he's just been incredible, actually. Let's look at Salah's numbers, guys. Let me not just prop up Haaland. For those that have Salah, I get it. There's people out there who actually have Salah and Haaland. For me, that's just too much. That's just too much. So it's one or the other, because I want Palmer and Saka purely because of the fixtures. But looking at Salah, guys, not only is he matching or outperforming Haaland, he's actually almost he's 2.5. Yeah, 2.5 cheaper than Haaland. So it's not only that you have Haaland, it's what you can have with Salah and have with the money. So Haaland is 15.3, Salah is 12.8. You also save 2.8, 2.5 should I speak. So what can you do with 2.5? If you have a midfielder of 6 million, you can upgrade to an 8 million. If you have an 8 million like Bruno, or who else is the 8 million price range in midfield? Like Madison, you can upgrade to like a Saka or Palmer for the fixtures. Yeah. So for me, Salah is good. He's actually had incredible numbers: 7 goals, 5 assists. That's 12 attacking returns in 10 matches. 12 in 10. That's just brilliant. He's already scored 6 double figure haul. Like he's only blanked in 2 matches: the loss against to Forest in Gameweek 4 and the win at Crystal Palace. The rest, the rest is score. Okay, he got an assist against Bournemouth, but he still returned. So he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 double figures. 6. That's more than Haaland, guys. That's more than Haaland. Let's see how much Haaland has in terms of when I mean double figures is like 10 or more points, like double digits. That's just incredible, right? Let's see then. Haaland, how can I go to Haaland? I can just actually pick him from my team. He's had 1, 2, 3. Haaland has just had the 3. And most people will lead you to believe that Haaland is essential. After the Arsenal game, he's only scored 1 goal against Southampton, 1 return in 5. So he scored 9 in 5, then the next 5 he scored 1. But guys, the numbers, let's look at the numbers, guys. The reason why I'm keeping Haaland is because of the numbers. His XGI is 1. Like, this is incredible to have 1 XGI on average. Or he's expected to return a game. Then it has evened itself out. I believe that if Haaland had scored 11 goals and you would share the goals amongst the 10 games, right? Let's say he gets 1, 1, 1, 1, then a brace 1, 1, 1. People wouldn't be in a rush to sell him. I think he's been sold by over 500,000 managers this week. I think it might be a great call. The ones who did it the previous week, they are laughing. But yeah, it's a long-term decision, because I believe if you sell Haaland, you're going to spread out the money. Because if you sell Haaland and keep the money in the bank, what's the point? You sell Haaland, you spread out the money, so getting him will require transfers in hand, or unless you have a wild card. I still do have a wild card. The smarter thing for me to do would actually be me selling Haaland, and if I panic, I can easily bring him in. But looking at his numbers, as I've mentioned, they are just marvelous, guys. Marvelous. He's not converting. When you speak with your friend, you don't speak about XG, but we're speaking in fantasy now. Numbers lead us to, or lead me into deciding which players I'm gonna. I've tried to include stats in my game this season. I have always been an eye test person. I still am an eye test person more than numbers. But for him to get an XGI of 0.90, that's almost 1 last week. Okay, he missed a clear-cut chance, the header from a Foden assist, the rebound of the post. That's why it spiked his expected goal involvement to 0.9. The week before, we've covered it last week, but that's 2.33, guys. 2.33. That's his second highest XGI since he's joined Man City. I believe the highest was against West Ham seasons gone by. But 2.33, and he only scored 1. That's just an incredible underperforming. Good footballers actually outperform the XG. For you to underperform it, it just shows that either you're a bad finisher, which Haaland is not, or you're just having one of those runs. So yeah, maybe it's just blind faith, but I'm hoping to keep the faith with Haaland at least for 1 more week. If he blanks this week and Salah does well, fair enough. I might put my hands up in the air and change my mind. I'll have 2 free transfers. That will be easy for me. I can easily sell Haaland to Jackson because I love the Chelsea fixtures. Then upgrade someone like Johnson, who has City. I can easily upgrade him to Salah. That's why I want to have the 2 free transfers. If you wanted to make a transfer, I know it's a late call from me, but I think the United fixtures, they are good. But yeah, me as a now pessimistic United fan, I'm a now pessimistic United fan. I've been very optimistic. Hey, Tanag is gonna do this. Hey, we're gonna do this. Now I'm gonna be realistic. I'm not gonna get fooled. I'm not to say I get fooled. Deep down, I know how terrible we are, but you just hide it and have the blind faith. But yeah, we'll get to United when I speak about them. Yeah. So as I was showing you Haaland's numbers, like 2.33. Then okay, against Wolves, it was nothing, 0.02. And he actually had no XG, zero at all. It was the this XGI was it came from the XA actually. He had a 0.02, which is non-existent as well. Then against Fulham, 0.34. That's not too great, but it's just one game sample. Against Newcastle, he blanked as well, 0.55. Then before that, that's when he was on fire. Against Arsenal, 0.83, he scored a goal. He scored a brace against Brentford with a 1.11. You see what I'm saying? He scored 2 goals, but he had an XG of 1.11. He scored 2 hat-tricks, and he had 1.82. That's how it is. If you're a good finisher, you can convert your chance even with an XG of 0.3, 0.4, 0.5 even. So the numbers are good. 1, guys. He has 1. I'll compare that with Mo Salah. You'll see that Salah's doing well. It shows that he's a good finisher, but he's actually overperforming his XG. So that's what I like about Haaland. It's hard to sell because the numbers are there. The numbers are there. He can easily score a hat-trick, and now everybody will change their mind and want to buy Haaland again. So yeah, it's just a personal preference. Salah at the moment is the better pick, I believe. But yeah, man, I still see these numbers for Haaland. I don't like watching a game where Haaland is in. He can easily go off, guys. So yeah, maybe it's a bad decision. That's why I'm getting red arrows now. But we will see. It's just a few weeks. Maybe I'll change my mind after this week. Let me quickly show you Salah's numbers once more. We have 4 minutes until the team news come out. I'll take you through all the team news for all the teams. It will even be better now when I make my predictions. I will actually know the lineups. So yeah, that will be better, I think. Quickly looking for Liverpool, Mo Salah. Let's look at his numbers, right? We've already established that he has 12 attacking returns in 10 games, right? He's the highest scoring player in the game. He's the highest scoring player in the game. Yeah, he is with 93 points. But let me take you through the numbers, guys, right? Let's look at the numbers. Last week, 0.65. Okay, the thing about Salah is that some of his XGI comes from his XA, like his expected assist. Haaland is more of a goal threat. Salah has assist and goal point route. You see, because last week he had an XG of 0.53, right? I think that came from his one-on-one chance as well as his finish, but he can also assist. That's why his XGI is 0.65, which is so good. For me, if a player has over 0.55 or 5, yeah, 0.5, I think that's good numbers. It's whether or not you can take your chance, because if it's 0.5, it means that you can get it, you get an involvement every other game. Like, yeah, which is good. I don't expect everyone to score every week. Even for Haaland, his numbers were ridiculous. Even for Salah, his numbers are ridiculous. He won't get 6 attacking double figure hauls in the next 10 games. I'll be absolutely gobsmacked if he does that. but that will be credit to him. But going to his numbers, they're actually not bad. His average of 0.76 XGI. You see, HAALAND is 1. So HAALAND has over 0.24 XG in hand to Salah. But Salah has more returns. Not more returns because HAALAND has 11 goals and 1 assist. So they have the same amount. But for a midfielder, remember, you get more points for goals and you get the extra for clean sheet. So last week, good, 0.65. Even against Arsenal, 0.46. So he got an XG of 0.38. That means that his chance, yeah, man, I think that chance is more than 0.38. Remember, they calculate XG in the quality of the shot and the way the shot is. If you remember that goal for Salah, the cut in from Nunez, then he finished to the far post, I believe that's a over 0.4 XG chance. But yeah, you can see at 0.46. Against Chelsea, 0.92. But why? That includes the penalty. Remember, he had a penalty against Chelsea. And a penalty is, I believe it's 0.97 or it's 0.8 chance as an XG. So yeah, you can say that's an abnormally because he had a penalty there. He had bad numbers against Crystal Palace. He blanked there. But against Wolves, did he get a penalty again? Yeah, he got a penalty. That's why he get a 1.37. But why do we pick them? I picked them for penalty as well. So I'm not crying. I'm just saying that his XG was also helped by penalties. So if HAALAND gets penalties as well, they will go up. But these are actually incredible numbers to be fair. Against Bournemouth, 0.78. But he only got an assist. Against Man United, 1.13. Yeah, good numbers, guys. Good numbers. Yeah, I don't know what to say, man. If you have Salah good on you, I expect him to. He's the best captaincy this week. If you have him, I hope that you captain him. Even next week, I believe he's the best captain. Like next week is where I'm gonna be like the turd hitting the fan. Like I'll be scared, hiding behind my couch. I'll wait to Southampton. I believe that's a good fixture for Salah. That is an incredible fixture after the international break. But what gives me hope is that they have Real Madrid in between game week 12 and 13. So hopefully they can rest some of their players against Southampton because they have Madrid, then they have City, then they have to travel away to Newcastle, St. James's Park. We know. We saw how Arsenal did last week. We saw the paella Pulis, so to speak. They call him the Spanish Tony Pulis. He went to Newcastle and he couldn't get the win. But we'll speak about him. Yeah, it's already 3:45, so all the teams are in. So before I take you through my predictions, we can check all the teams. I'm going to open a tab on another screen on Twitter to go through all the teams. So yeah, I will firstly see, let me come this side actually to see the fixtures. Okay, Brentford versus Bournemouth. So I'll search the Brentford Twitter page first. The Bees. I expect Mbumo to be in there and Vesa. For those that have Johanna Vesa, I think he'll be in the lineup. I also have Sepp van der Berg, but I benched him. So yeah, Van der Berg is there. Let me share the screen again in terms of my Twitter page. There you go. Man, the lineup is there. You can see from Brentford, Flecken, Sepp van der Berg, then Nathan Collins is there as well. Then you have Pinnock, Vitaly Arnold, Christian Nogard, Jensen, Damsgaard, Lewis Potter, then Brian Mbumo, and Vesa. Yeah, I think they're gonna play a back four with Vitaly Arnold now moving to left back. They've dropped Roslev, it looks. Then Christian Nogard and Janssen as the two pivots alongside Damsgaard on the left wing. In the 10, then Lewis Potter in the left wing. Visa up top, then Brian Mbumo left right wing. So yeah, My players are playing there. Who are they playing again? They are playing Brentford. I mean, Bournemouth. They're playing Bournemouth. So now I can quickly search the Bournemouth page to see the news of who. I think Ivan Nielsen should start there. Semenyo is a good pick. Okay, Kepa Arrizabalaga is back in the team. He's been out for a couple of weeks. I will quickly zoom nyana. You see, nyana. All right, so that the viewers can see Pella. While the viewers are looking at this, don't forget to like my content, ladies and gentlemen. I can see I have 4 likes already. Get them like buttons up, ladies and gentlemen. I've gained a few subscriber or two, so thank you once again to everyone who's looking or watching or listening to my content. You don't need to listen to everything, but the bit you get, I appreciate that. We are here for a good time. We're just here to speak football, sports, even a bit of rugby. The Springboks are playing this week. I'm a sports guy. If you want to speak MMA, rugby, tennis, anything, I know it's an FPL and Premier League based PSL. Speak to me. Kaiser Chiefs looking in. Yeah, we started off well. Now we are back again in the mud, man. We got put in a Zubi last week by Sundowns. I mean, Sundowns always do that. They like to come to our house, disrespect us, come for our messes, get into our kitchen, eat our food, go to the toilet and dump, don't even flush. That's how Sundown is to Kaiser Chiefs. And they leave like that. And what do? We have to come in, we have to accept that and clean after their mess in our own house. But it is what it is. Looking at the Bournemouth team, Kepa Arrizabalaga, Kekesh, Cook, Senesi, and Evanilson. I hate the fact that this is how teams decide to put team sheets, where they just put it in number 4 order. Then you don't know who, like, you have to do the math, who plays where. Yeah. Okay, let's look at this. I think it's Zabani alongside Senesi at center back, Kirkesh left back, Smith captain, he's playing right back, with a midfield of Ryan Christie, I believe, with Adams. Oh, he's back. Adams, the guy from Leeds, the guy with terrible hamstrings. Yeah, he's been out for a long time. What's his first name? I forgot his first name, but yeah, Tyler Adams. Yeah, he comes from Leeds. He's back in midfield. Good player. I think it's USA international men's captain. Then at right winger, who's playing right winger? Semenyo, of course. Clivert on the other side. Then Evan Nelson. Yeah, that's a good strength. Bournemouth team. I don't have anyone from Bournemouth, but I believe those that have Bournemouth assets, Evan Nelson is starting and Semenyo. So yeah, I think, yeah, okay. Well, I'll go through it when I predict my teams. Actually, next, Crystal Palace and Fulham. I have from Crystal Palace, I have what's his name, Dean Henderson. So hopefully he's starting. Let's go through the team news for Crystal Palace. They even put in the team news already. Or is it my Twitter? My X. The kids will tell me it's X now. Yeah. I'm not sure why Crystal Palace team news are not out. They should be out. Maybe, yeah. Let's check Fulham. We'll come back to Palace. Maybe it's just my Twitter not refreshing. Fulham unchanged from Monday. Bent Leno, Kenny Tete right back, Joachim Anderson centre half alongside Kevin Bassey, who's left-footed, Anthony Robinson left back. Okay, then they have the double pivot of Zander Berger and Andres Pereira, the preseason pillow. If you support Man United, you know, former preseason pillow, used to do well for United in preseason 10-up football games when it really matters. He hides. Then Rios Nelson, good on him. Actually, Rios Nelson is getting a consistent run there. Then they've Elmel Smith Rowe and Iwobi. This is actually the Arsenal from What can I say, man? What are the shops here in South Africa? The Arsenal from Cambridge food, man. Let's be honest. This is not the Woolies one. Because how many Arsenal players are here? One with Ben Leno, two Nelson, three Emil Smith Rowe, four Alex Iwobi. On the bench, do they have any Arsenal guys? That's too much. Four. I thought it was more than that, but still. Who are they getting from Arsenal? Gabriel Jesus next. Yeah, they must get Jesus next. Then it will be that front four there for Arsenal. Maybe Moreno in the next couple of years. Who knows? Raul Jimenez. Yeah, unchanged. So yeah, I think the most popular Fulham assets are Anthony Robinson and Raul Jimenez. So if you have them, they are playing. So good for you. Let's check which team will be checking. Crystal Palace, actually. Let's see if they have decided to put their team news out for their fans. Yeah, like they put them 9 minutes later. This is whoever, like these people, bruv. Give us an opportunity. Let me go be admin for Crystal Palace, mate. Let me get into the industry. Let me get in. Because you 9 minutes late. Come on, man. People don't take their job serious from. You have to deliver. Nonetheless, let's look at the lineup here. Dean Henderson in goal, Muniz, Klein, Chaloba, Lacroix, and Mitchell. So something is telling me somebody is going to play off position because they normally play a back 3 or 5. And normally, yeah. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Who's missing here? And Gay as well. So they have 6 defenders. So I take it they're going to play Klein right wing back. They will go normal back three of Chaloba, Lacroix, and Gay left center back with Tyrick Mitchell left wing back. Then in the midfield, I think Devaney is a midfield. This is Devaney. He looks like he's making his debut. Yeah, they are injury struck, Crystal Palace. They are injury struck. They are missing Eze. They're missing Edin Ketia. They are missing Adam Wharton, who was sensational last year. He had operation. They are missing Decore. He's on the bench, granted, but he's been out for a couple of months. Will Hughes is suspended as well. They're missing Jefferson Lemma. So it's an opportunity for Fulham to take this game. It's an opportunity. They're missing like 6 key first-team players. It's an opportunity for Fulham to take this game because they have almost 6-7 defenders in the pitch with an attacking 3 of Kamada, Ateta, and Ismaila Sarr. For me, this screams like a Fulham win, but you never know with football. It's not played on paper. This maybe allows Crystal Palace to defend their box much better for a clean sheet and try to play on the counter-attack. For me, the worrying sign is that there is no creativity whatsoever in that midfield. Like, as I've mentioned, Wharton, Eza, Edin Ketia at number, like they're just missing key cogs of this team. So I think they'll take a draw. But I have Henderson in goal, so hopefully he can somehow get a penalty or save a clean sheet. Get a clean sheet, so to speak. Next fixture will be West Ham versus Everton. So we can look at the West Ham fixtures. Team sheet. Okay, there it is. Bowen, who was actually not pictured in training. So there was this rambling with the West Ham fans that he might miss today. But let's look at the team. They have Flappy in goal, Fabianski. Then a back 4 of Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Todibo, Max Kilman, and Emerson at left back, with a midfield 2 of Rodriguez and Thomas Suchek behind Lucas Paqueta. Then on the wings, they have Quarantine Somerville as well as Jared Bowen, captain on the right wing. Then their main man up top is Mikel Antonio. Yeah, it's if you played fantasy back in the day, you'll know that Antonio was actually a good pick then. And yeah, but now I don't know how old he is. He's over 30. They signed what's his name, Full Crook. Yeah, he's been injured ever since. It's a good team, as you can see. One of the West Ham fan has commented that he's picked the right team. So yeah, it is what it is for them. And the bench: Fotheringham, Cresswell, Soler, Sufal, Mavropanos, Gilhammer, then Ings, Ivan, and Skulls. Skulls ain't seeing in no minutes, I don't believe. They are playing Everton. Everton, I have Mikalenko, but he's on the bench. Surely Gerard Branthwaite starts. If Gerard Branthwaite starts, I might regret not playing Mikalenko because, as I've mentioned before, I believe that Everton's main player is Gerard Branthwaite. He's back in the team. Keane is dropped off the team. The back four of obviously Pickford and goal. They have right back Ashley Young. Credit Ashley Young, man. The guy was hitting Chiscop wire. Then now he went to Milan, came back looking all fresh with the fade. You know, he's growing young, you know, so to speak, his name. He's growing young. Ashley, that is. Then Tarkowski, captain. Jareth Brandwaite back. Yeah, big boost for Everton. That just boosts their defense. Big boost. Then Mikalenko, he's on the bench for me, third sub, so it doesn't matter what he does for me. I don't think I'll need him. They have Mangala and Idris Ganageye, as long as Lindstrom as the midfield three. Then their forwards is Ndiye, and they're playing Decore. I think Decore will play at 10, then Lundstrom will play one of the wings. Then Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who's an absolute troll. He's a troll. That's what he is. He's a troll, Dominic Calvert-Lewin. He's a troll. Because he's blanked in his last 6 games since the people brought him in Gameweek 6 wildcard. But you know, now he's been sold, he'll probably ban. But yeah, it is what it is. Then bench, Virginia, Begovic, Patterson is back. He looks keen. Jack Harrison, Beto, O'Brien, Armstrong, and Bates. That's it for the Toffees. Everton. Then now we are going to the last fixture for 5 o'clock, which is Wolves v Southampton. I actually have a player there whom I brought last week. It would be sensational if Wolves score and it's Lassen and what's his name, Cunha, didn't get involved. But who's to say? Cunha can get a brace and Lassen might get nothing. It's just a gamble, man. It's a prediction. But I see they are welcoming back Ruben Neves. Welcome back, Ruben Neves. Oh, maybe he just came to watch the game, right? It's not like they bought him. Yeah, because he plays in Saudi. So I'm like, oh yeah, maybe he just came to watch his beloved Wolves. Change is that the skipper is back, Mario Lamina. Strane Larsen starts for us owners. If you own Strane Larsen, he starts. The team, Josesa, he looks like the number 1. He's a good pick, actually. I might buy him in the future. 4.3. He's one of the cheapest playing goalkeepers. Remember, he started, then they bought Johnson, and Johnson is back now from injury and he's on the bench. 2 games in a row. So I might buy Sa, because I've mentioned that Wolves are top 2 fixtures in the long term, like medium to long term, in the next 8 to 10 games. Then they're playing a back 5. Semedo, Bueno, Dawson, Totti, and Ignori. Yeah, one player I have to hide not having is Ignori, guys. He's the one to have. He's basically a striker, guys. If you watch Wolves' game, he's always there in striking force. Like, he's always attacking, super attacking. I won't be surprised that he scores today. His returns are incredible. I'll actually show you them. He's just an incredible attacker, but he's on 4 yellow cards. Remember, guys, that if you get 5 yellow cards, you get suspended. We've already had suspensions this season. Your likes of Fofana and Cucurella for Chelsea are the ones that come in mind. And we have a lot of players on 4 now. At United, we have Lisandro Martinez. I know Jackson has 4 as well. Nori has 4, Semenyo as well. So you need to just keep that in mind when you're making transfer. This is why I have moved my formation of having 7 attackers to 8. I know that even if I have an injury or a suspension, I have someone like Rogers can come into the team, or it can be Strand Larsen. So they have the midfield of Joe Gomez, Mario Lamina, Sarabia behind the front 2 of Mateus Cunha and Strand Larsen. I'm hoping for goals here. I'm hoping that Strand Larsen gets a goal on assist. He carries on delivering since I've bought him last week. Hopefully, he can assist me in getting goals and assists and, rising in price. So, yeah, Wolves, no excuses. They have almost all their team. Then the last team, Southampton. I don't believe most of you guys have Southampton. Southampton, I think, right? Yo, there they are. Yeah, I'm just gonna. It's a formality. I don't believe nobody has anybody in here for Southampton. If you're picking Southampton picks, they just enable us to sit on your bench. But we'll go through them. We don't discriminate against any team. Southampton, it's Aaron Ramsdale in goal. Yeah, this is his level. To be fair, he's he's appalling, man. He really is. It's not a coincidence he got relegated like 2 or 3 times back in the day. He'll get relegated again this season. He lets goals that he shouldn't let in. He makes decent saves there and then. But yeah, for me, he goes to ground easy. Growing up, I was an attacker, back in my heyday when I was playing in the streets there of, the mighty Hillbrow there in five-a-side. This is where you look up to strikers and you look at goalkeeper because you aspire to be that. So for me, I'd like to finish against Aaron Ramsdale. I'll just finish here on top. Finish Coding because he just likes to dive backwards and go down. That's just my observation from my humble opinion. Kyle Walker-Peters, Howard Bellis, Petranrek, and Stevens. He's back. He's actually back since he got suspended back then. I don't know what game it was against United, where he capped Garnacho for a red card. He got a 3-match ban. It was upgraded to like a 5. I think Kudus one is also upgraded to 5. I think I saw something like that. I don't know if that's just nonsense on X, but yeah. Then they have Manning as well, Flynn Downs, Adam Lallana, who's actually been decent for them, Fernandez, and they have went with a double number 9 or double striker there of Adam Armstrong and Archer. They're actually, decent team. They like to keep the ball, but they make too much mistakes. As I've mentioned before, you can't come to the Premier League and want to outpass good teams. You have to change the strategy. You have to accept who you are. Play possession football, meaning that play like Prime Bolton, Samuel Allardyce, win free kicks, take it from there, play from there. Like if you win free kick here, you throw it long into the box, you play off the second balls. That's how football is. You don't need to be pretty. No, come on. Not everybody has to be pretty. We don't have equal amount of quality players. Yeah, that's it for the team news. Guys, let's go back to the fantasy page app so that we can go through the predictions and I can leave you guys to enjoy your glorious weekends. It's going to be fantastic weekends, as I've mentioned. Springboks against Scotland. It was actually a terrific game yesterday for those who watched it. New Zealand or Ireland versus New Zealand in Dublin. Yeah, fabulous game. Okay, it was not a good game. It was an intense game with a lot of things at stake. There was a bitterness. Remember, if you know what's his name, the Ireland captain or former captain, Peter O'Mahony, telling Sam Cane, who was the former All Blacks captain in the previous World Cup, that he's just the Richie McCaw, So I thought Sam Cane had one of his best games in the quarterfinal last year in the World Cup and yesterday. And also, of course, Johnny Sexton, Ireland's possibly greatest player, wrote a book. And yeah, they had a scuffle with Rico Ioane. I don't know what Rico Ioane said to him or what, but he did mention that in the book. So yeah, yesterday Rico Ioane led the haka, and it was incredible in terms of the spectacle. The quality of the game was not there. That was not the island I get used to watching, who are just accelerating. But you can't take nothing away from the All Blacks. For them to beat Ireland in Ireland, who are unbeaten in 19 games, and to do so without two of the best players in Bowden Barrett and Cody Taylor. Incredible. But that's rugby, guys. As I've said, we speak anything. Springboks, yeah, I won't speak much about them, but I should say that Rassi is actually taking a piss at this point in time. I can't lie, man. I can't lie. I know we have so much quality, but I don't think there's a team out there who can name that lineup and get away with it, but we can. Because in terms of the bench for the Springboks, for me, that's the best bench I've ever seen, ever in rugby. No exaggeration. Like, it's incredible. You have the likes of Malcolm Marx coming in there. You have Sia Kolisi. You have Jasper Visa, Grant Williams. You have the best player in rugby for me, easily, Peter Steph du Toit. It's just incredible. Incredible. Yeah, Springboks low may continue. But let's get back to FPL. Let me take you through my predictions, and then I can leave you there, ladies and gentlemen, because the kickoffs is in 50 minutes time. I also want to watch the games. Yeah. So Brentford versus Bournemouth. Brentford have been scoring goals, right? They scored 5 against Wolves. They scored 5 against Ipswich, if not 4. But yeah, they did score crazy amount of goals. So they are trying to change the style of play, right? This makes them susceptible. Whatever. It makes them it makes them vulnerable, should I say, at the back. So now they can't balance it. They went to Fulham and they stunk out the gaff. They stunk out the place. It was bad on Monday night. They never had a taking threat whatsoever. So it will be interesting to see what the coach Thomas Frank does this week, because you need to find a balance. You can be an attacking team and be solid, but you can't be too attacking, not defensive, or just be defensive and kill everything. You take off Vesa, you take off Mbumo. How are you going to score goals? How? So yeah, I was not impressed by them last week. So I'm just going to say it's one game. And Bournemouth, they've had incredible run. They've had 7 points in the last 9. They beat City and Arsenal at home. They drew away to Villa. They're having an incredible time of it. But who did they lose before that to? Leicester. Because that's the consistency they do not have. That's why they are who they are. They got, beating Arsenal, City, and drawing with Villa. For any team in the Premier League, that's sensational points. Liverpool will take that. They'll take that any day. United take that. But can you beat the one teams you expected to beat? The ones where you're not going to be defending, you're going to have to be also a dominant team of your own right. So it's going to be interesting today. I see goals there, to be fair. Whenever Brentford play home, they concede goals. So I'm going to say 3-2 Bournemouth. I'm just going to go careless this week. 3-2 Bournemouth, I believe. Yeah. Semenyo, watch out if you have Semenyo. As I've said, he has he has 4 bookings. 1 shot, then he can be suspended. He's also in my radar, but we will see with that. So I say 3-2 Bournemouth. Crystal Palace against Fulham. We've seen the lineups, right, guys? So it makes us easier to predict with what we see, with what we know. So, yeah, I think Crystal Palace injuries are just way too much, So I see this as a low-scoring game. So it can be 1-0 to the other or 0-0. But I think that with Fulham's quality, they have a fully fit squad besides Sasha Lukic, right? So for me, Fulham should fancy their chances in this. They were probing against Brentford on Monday. As dire as Brentford were, Fulham were not getting those high XG chances. It was just shot after shot. If you had Flecken, remember, he had 9 saves. He was going to get 12 points, right? Then they conceded, it went down to 8. They conceded again, then it was 4. So yeah, for this, I will say 1-0 Fulham. Then next fixture, West Ham versus Everton. This looks like the boring game. And it looks like the main game of the 5 o'clock games. Hopefully that's not. Please. Like West Ham, I watched West Ham against Man United. They were terrible, mate. Terrible. I don't know how West Ham did not, like, yeah, man, they were terrible. Like, I watched them early against Chelsea and they got beaten by Chelsea 3-0. They let Jackson just run through the middle twice to score. We had numerous chances. I remember from the top of my head, Garnacho hit the post, which was an easy chance. Fernandez header from like 5 yards. He missed the target. Dalo, don't get me started on Dalo. Bruno Fernandes puts him in. Dalo, open goal, fam. Open goal. That was all she wrote. Erik ten Hag was out after that, fam. We missed chances. Rasmus Holland, like last week, absolutely die against Forest. I know they got a red card, guys, but they are poor. Like, it's funny that West Ham fans, right, they always get a manager who's playing the possession football, which I am talking about. Not possession, I want to say percentage. Yeah, they're playing percentage football. That's the one I wanted to talk about when I was implying Southampton. Playing percentage football, right? You just need to know your strengths. Defend well, be good at set pieces, be good on the counter. That's the fundamentals of a good team in the Premier League, right? Because they had David Moyes. He did well. He won a trophy for them, right? They have more European pedigree than Arsenal, guys. Arsenal have nothing. No European pedigree. West Ham at least won something. Then the fans wanted David Moyes out. They get someone like Lopetegui. It's worse, mate. It's worse because it's still the poor, toothless West Ham in attack, but in defense, they are now poor. And they don't rely on set pieces like they did for David Moyes. So it's a catch-22 phase for me. If he loses this game, he's gone. Remember, it's an international break. So I believe there's going to be a sacking over the international break. Like one of the teams will hit the panic button. This is where they normally do. Last international break of the year, of the next 3, 4, 5 months until March. This is where the league starts, right? This is where you can say you are looking at the league table. After the November international break, this is where you can start looking at the table. So I believe that if West Ham don't win this football match, Lopetegui will be gone. But Everton, they are also toothless. Dominic Calvert-Lewin owners, I mean, I thought Beto might have a chance of starting because he scored an equalizer 2 games ago. Then last week, he could have got an equalizer, but it was offside. So I thought Deitch will give him the opportunity. But they have their best player back in Jared Brandthwaite. So I think they will be solid. So for me, I see this as a 1-1. Ultimate, I'll sit on the fence, 1-1. Next fixture, Wolves versus Southampton. This is where I actually wish there are goals, guys. Please, for the life of me, Wolves get at least 2-3 goals. And please, Matthias Cunha, do nothing. Please. He's a good player. I know he is. He's actually a bonus point magnet. Whenever he scores a goal or 2, he's there in the bonus points. So, yeah. Wolves were actually bad against Crystal Palace, who I've mentioned that they have a lot of injuries. I thought Palace played well last week. They could have taken their chances. But as I've mentioned, Palace, they accumulate shots, but it's low XGI shots. You know, it's those ones that you can have 5 shots on target, but was any of them of any threat to be a good chance of you scoring a goal? You see, so yeah, Southampton, good team. They're a decent team. They like to pass the ball with Russell Martin. They just do not have the quality. I expect them to have more possession than Wolves. today. I wouldn't be surprised if they beat Wolves. That's if they take their chances. But with these teams, like, they are also susceptible. Southampton is almost as good a fixture as one can get at home. So if Wolves do not get their fix, it's actually number 19 and 20. Yes. So this is a proper 6-pointer. This is a big game for these guys. That's why I say I believe one manager will, at least one will leave. Because if Russell Martin loses to Wolves, his fixtures aren't looking too great after the international break, guys. They're not looking too great. Like, I can take you through them. They're not looking too great. So when, as an owner of the club, when do you pull the trigger? Because look at these fixtures. They are appalling, guys. It's a must win for them. It's a must win for Southampton against Wolves, because they're playing Liverpool after the international break, Brighton away, Chelsea away, Villa away, Spurs at home. Like, they definitely not getting a win there. Against whom are they getting a point even? It's football, it's not played on paper. We know that. Game state changes, teams get red cards and injuries during matches, referee decisions. But yeah, man, I think if they don't win today, they might try to sack Russell Martin to get the new manager bounce, to get that old head. I won't be surprised if you see Sam Allardyce back in the job, or who else? Like, someone like that, man. If you're a small club, if I'm an owner of this club, I pull the trigger, I bring in these guys. Sean Dyche, whether you like his football or not, if you're an owner of a club, you want someone like that. He keeps you in the Premier League, you get the money, you improve. You never know in the future. That's when you can start now to get a better manager. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's gonna be an interesting game to watch. I'm actually thinking of the 5 o'clock fixtures. I'm gonna watch Southampton versus Wolves, because I have Strand Larsen and I hope he scores there. Because I can't watch West Ham Everton. I don't have a player there. Crystal Palace, I only have Anderson, but I don't want to watch a game where I'm hoping that a goalkeeper keeps a clean sheet. And Mbumo, but everyone is Mbumo, so his points don't do well for me unless it's my mini leagues. We'll go through my mini leagues and go through some of how my friends are doing in that mini leagues compared to me. But for now, yeah, predictions: Wolves versus Southampton. I think Wolves should win this, so I'll say 2-1 Wolves. They're at home. They've not won a game this season. They've had absolutely dire fixtures, but now it's time for them to get points. Or what's his name? Neil. He'll be gone. He'll be gone. The Wolves manager. He'll be gone. His name just completely, ran away from my head. If you remember it, put it on the chat, guys. Then Brighton Sete. That's the 7:30 kickoff. Yeah, man. I have been very vocal about Brighton, mainly because I watch United, of course. I'm a United fan. So that's where I see how far a team is, because we are poor, man. We are absolutely poor. So that's why I was very strong in saying I'm not convinced with how Brighton defend. I was proved right when Cole Palmer scored 4 goals, but they've kept a clean sheet at Newcastle, and they played very well at Anfield last week. They deserve to win that. To say they deserve to win that football match is a bit, maybe I'm pushing it, because there's 2 halves to a game, but that first half, they were superb. Like, Danny Welbeck at 1-0 had a chance to make it 2. Great save by Quiven Kelleher. So yeah, man, I'm impressed by them. Actually, they have had a lot of injuries as well, because their squad is actually massive. They have Gruda, who's not played, João Pedro, who's not played since the Spurs game, I believe, but is now back. They have O'Reilly, who's a good player, guys. Watch out for O'Reilly. He comes from Celtic. So I think he will come into the team. Menta has been injured, so they've played Kalioglu at right, who's a right back or a full back playing at right wing. So when Minter comes back, that's more options. They also have what's his name to come back, solely much from a long-term injury. So they're in good stead, right? Yeah, I don't know what more I can say about Brighton. They are doing well. They're actually doing well. I should give them credit, man. They are actually doing well. So, yeah, against City, I would hope that they do well again because, yeah, I would hope that they'll do well again for against City, I should say. Um, and then Man City. Where do we start? They've not played well, Sete. They have not played well whatsoever. Uh, but we know Pep finds a way to always fix these things. They always get a blip in November, December, and then we like crisis time. Come January, they win 18 of their 19, 20 remaining games and they win the league. So, but this is gonna be the toughest challenge for Pep because he's gonna be doing it without the best player in the world right now, in Rodri. Like it's not a coincidence, guys. The guy is superb. He plays for Spain, they win the Euros. He plays for City, they win almost every game he plays in. As soon as he get an ACL, they are back. Like they rely on him so much. I was mentioning if they get an injury to Rodri, they are in a mess. So it will take one hell of a job. But history tells us that Pep will fix it. So let's see. But remember that midfield is swag, man. Kovacic is a tidy player, but he's a Chelsea reject. Gundogan, one of City's great players, but now he's ran his legs to the ground. He's ran his races, mate. Like he's past it. So they are very vulnerable in midfield. Rodri he's so good of winning those fouls without getting a booking. So those simple things, the passes, the positioning of Rodri, how he lets the team attack while he can sit on that pivot by himself. It's a big miss. HAALAND underperforming his XGI. He's missing penalties in the Champions League. These things won't go on forever. They can't go on forever. So I think HAALAND will come back. I can't write off City. Like Kevin De Bruyne is also back now. He's complaining about injuries, but everyone has injuries, mate. Man United have had injuries against Ten Hag last year. Nobody said anything about them. Now City's getting injuries. They make a big fuss about the injuries. And speaking of injuries, who's injured? They've only have 4 players injured. They've Stones, he says. They have Diaz. Those aren't long-term injuries. In midfield, it's Rodri. He's out for the season, so he can't count anymore. Then De Bruyne is back. Oscar Bob is the one who's also injured. Jack Grealish, he says he's injured, but he's called up for England. Whose fault is it? You can't blame injuries, mate. You're just like Arsenal. You can't blame injuries. These guys never wanted United to speak about injuries last year. They can't speak about injuries now. And they also don't have injuries. Even Odegaard is back. Like, they don't have injuries, guys. We, as United, have more injuries than these guys. But nobody ever talks about that. I know our players are rubbish, so it does not make a matter whether they are there or not. But still, they are the main players of the team. With all that being said, I think Brighton gives City a good game. But funny enough, I've always had Foden, guys. If you have Foden against Brighton at the Amex past 2 seasons, guys, he's always done well for me from memory. This is a good fixture for City. I did say that I see City dropping points, more of a chance dropping points to Bournemouth than Brighton. Because you know why? Bournemouth can accept. They can sit back and absorb the pressure, hit you on the break. And City are vulnerable. But Brighton want to go toe-to-toe. They can still come on top, going toe-to-toe, but that's where you are susceptible to conceding, especially against that with that high line against HAALAND. So I would be hoping that City get some goals. My predictions, I will say 2-1 City. They have to win. I don't see how Pep lose. Is it 3 of their last 4 games? If not, they actually lost 3 of the past 3 games in all competitions, right? They did. So yeah, I don't see how they lose 4-4. So I'll say 2-1 City. Late kickoff, Liverpool, Villa, Anfield. Yeah, last week. Funny enough, all the top three was losing last week, right? It looked like that. It didn't even look like Liverpool will win. But I think what won the game for Liverpool last week was Anfield. I think sometimes the players need the crowd. Sometimes the crowd needs the players to lift them, so to speak. But sometimes the players need the crowd. And I thought Anfield won the game for Liverpool. Brighton were the better team, but in that 10-minute spell where they brought in Curtis Jones and yeah, a bit of dynamism in midfield and allowed Salah to be isolated with Estupinian, like childhood defending, mate. Like childhood defending Pelvis Estupinian, mate. Like you let the world and his dog knows that Salah is gonna cut in. Pelvis Estupinian let him cut in and say, take your whipper there, have a whipper, eat a zipper, hit top corner. Like it was poor defending by Estupinian, but take nothing away. Salah he's a moments guy. I know Liverpool guys don't get to me. I'm not saying he's a moments player in terms of, yeah, but it's a compliment. Like he's not playing well, but he's getting the returns. He's gotten to that level. Like he just needs a moment, then he can win the game for your team. So yeah, I think Liverpool should walk this. Villa, their defensive numbers are good. As soon as they took off Morgan Rogers last week, it was 1-1. The thing about Una Emre, he wants to play John Duran with Oli Watkins because Duran has done well for him. So he wants to appease him. By appeasing him in midfield, you're leaving gaps. By playing 2 nines, you're leaving gaps in that midfield. So as soon as they lost that engine in Morgan Rogers, who's been superb, but one can say, like, Morgan Rogers was taken off and complained. I also don't understand that as a player. You lie on the ground for 5 minutes, like with a nothing knock. When they take you out, you are out here complaining. So partially he deserved that. But for Unai Emery, trying to fit into strikers always can be to their detriment. So I think Liverpool can take this. I don't see them playing too well, but they're good at winning these type of games because they are not playing that heavy metal football that they used to play under Klopp. They are now compact in a way. They like to keep the ball and wait for moments, just like the good Manchester City sides of the yesteryears used to do. They like to just, pick their moments. So, yeah, I think Liverpool can win this 3-1 Liverpool, as much as I hate to say it. Sunday, quickly go through this, guys. I've been rambling for over an hour now. Oh, wow. I'm enjoying this. I'm getting good at this. I'm enjoying, giving you my 2 cents. My 2 cents. Man United, Leicester. As I've said, I'm going to be a pessimistic Manchester United fan from now. I'm not going to be like, hey, we are rubbish, mate. Absolutely dire. We couldn't do nothing against PAOK in the Europa League. We got our first win in 18 months in Europe, mate. We are just poor, mate. We are poor. At times, I couldn't tell who's the great Manchester United and who's PAOK in the Europa League, mate. We played our good team. We have no cohesive. All I can say is Ruben Amorim has an incredible job at to do, mate. Like he he has a lot to do in his hands. And he did accept that, guys, we beat City. Like sometimes that's why I love FPL. You don't get influenced by outcome bias. Like the outcome makes you fool you. Celebrate the win, but be realistic of what happened. Don't let the outcome bias influence you. Like City could have easily beaten Sporting 3-4-5 early in the game. They didn't take their chances. Then they got a lucky penalty. You see these penalties in UEFA, just rubbish. Like, yeah. So these type of things, as I'm saying, don't get like even Amaram did say, if we play like that while I'm at United, we're gonna get hit. He said we were lucky. That's a good manager for me. Don't get deluded. Oh, of course, don't go to in front of the cameras and slate your team, but you must be realistic so that the fan you're speaking to can hear that what they see is not a lie, right? Don't when you are tired, Ten Hag. I'm sorry, Ten Hag lovers, and yeah, to keep on referencing him, but you are telling us that you won 2 trophies. It's all nice. I celebrated the trophies like 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 any other United fan. But truth of the matter of fact is your bread and butter is the league. Your league is the bread and butter. What you do week in, week out. As a United fan, I was raised knowing that the most important trophy to win is the league, even more than the Champions League. That's how we measure you. Like your league is your bread and butter. You need to play well week in, week out. That's how we measure you. Not one-off games and all the playing in the cup are home against who? This season in the cup, who did we play? We played. Is it? I keep on forgetting the team we played from League Two. I think Bristol or whoever we played, and we beat Leicester's B team. So these things can blind you, so to speak. They can blind you. So we need to be realistic, mate. We our players are all back, matter of fact. We don't have injuries anymore, at least after the international break. They are telling us Luke Shaw is back in training, Malasia is back in training, Euro's back in training. They won't be available for tomorrow, but they will be after the international break. Kobe Mine is expected to come back as well. Harry Maguire. That's a full, clean bill of players. But yeah, there's the caveat. You can't say you expect Malasia and Shaw to be. I still say Luke Shaw won't kick a ball this year. I know he's back in training, but it pains me to say he's one of my favorite players, but he will get injured again. Just like Mason Mount. These things are tiring, mate. They are tiring. We need to sign a left back. Sometimes availability is the best ability. But yeah, predictions tomorrow, it's going to be one of those cagey ones. I see us winning it, but we're going to scumbag it as usual. It's going to be like the PAOK game where it's just chaotic, haram football, but we somehow get probably a Bruno penalty or us get the rub of the green. That's how I can see it. So I'll say it's either 1-0 or 2-1, but I'll say 2-1. I'll say 2-1 United. Then Forest, Newcastle. Like Forest, first to them, man. First to Forest. I think they've been sensational. Granted, they've had the best fixtures this season so far in the first 10 game weeks. Now, in the next 5 games, they go away to Arsenal. Let me say their next 3 away games are away to Arsenal, City, and United. So this is where I say you have to judge a table after November international because you would have played at least some of the big teams, you see. So now I expect them to go down, but they've had a great time of it. Chris Wood, we have looked past him. Funny enough, I've had Chris Wood last season and it did well for me, but this season I didn't pick him. I think now is not the right time to go there, but who am I to say? Because the guy scores every week. He's inevitable, mate. Then the Geordies, I have Lewis Hall. Isak is back. Gordon is back. They have a very good team from last season. The only missing is Van Botman. I think he'll be back now in a couple of weeks as well. So I expect them to be tough. I think this is going to be a cagey game. Both teams don't score a lot, so I see this as a 1-1. Spurs Ipswich demolition derby. This should be Spurs best attack in the league against the worst defense in the league. Dominic Solanke finally comes through for the owners. Brennan Johnson finally comes through for me. Not as good as Solanke, but I take it. Son is back as well. That's their front 3. Dejan Kulusevski. He's playing the football of his life now. He's even putting James Maddison on the bench with Pepper Metasa in midfield alongside Basuma. That's just a good team for Spurs. I think they will take Ipswich to the cleaners. So for me, I say 4-1. Hopefully Johnson, you never know. You know Johnson Spurs can score 5 and him not score nothing. But Solanke is also like that. So yeah, I see a lot of people also captain Solanke as well. Last fixture before I let you guys go, is the Sunday night 6:30 kickoff or 4:30 in England. Chelsea, Arsenal, London derby is flagged in fantasy, but I think these are mind games. There's no way Cole Palmer does not walk out and play tomorrow at the Bridge. He's just so integral to that Chelsea team. They have everyone fit except who? Jadon Sancho. Where is he now? Where is he? We United fans can tell you, Chelsea fans, this guy plays no games. You see now, he's missed the past 3 games, guys. Last week he was helped that it's against United. It's a parent club. I know how this guy rolls. Next game, they'll be like, he's out with flu, out. Before you know it, he'll be out for 3 months. No kick of the game, of the ball, or knock. This is how he rolls, even for United. I hope for Chelsea fans, it's not the case. For us as United fans, we are going to sell him. So he's not our problem anymore. I don't think he walks into Chelsea's best team. Neto has now taken that left wing spot. I can't see Sancho taking it back there. Yeah, let me not speak a lot about Sancho because it looked like I'm salty. So it is what it is, and fair too. Arsenal, I've had 3 Arsenal players. They've disappointed me, but the fixtures have been tough for me. They've had the toughest fixtures with Wolves. Hence why they're gonna have the best fixtures now. I stayed patient with my 3 Arsenal. I'm not expecting much this week. In fact, I won't be surprised if Gabriel, Saka, Havertz, and Palmer all blank, right? It finishes 1-1. It'll probably be Caicedo who scored, and for Arsenal, probably be Saliba. It is what it is, but I need to bank my instincts, back them by thinking that after this game week, Arsenal will come good. They have Odegaard back. Look at their fixtures: Forest, West Ham, Man United home, Fulham away, Everton home, Crystal Palace away, Ipswich home, Brentford, Brighton. Surely they come through. I can't sell as much as Havertz is not doing well. It's eating me. I could be buying Isak, I could be buying Solanke, but I'm keeping the faith because I'm thinking, Hori, hopefully after these terrible fixtures, they've had terrible fixtures, guys. Looking at them, they've had Villa away, Brighton, Tottenham, City. Okay, they've had the basement boys after that. Then they've had Liverpool, Newcastle, Chelsea. The bad fixtures are done. So now, hopefully, the patience. I've said I'm a patient manager this season. Will pay after that. But we will see. I might get panic buttons. I might hit panic buttons after this week, after they blank, and I'm like, what am I actually doing with Havertz? Let me sell him. But I think I'll keep the faith. I have 2 free transfers. I think this game will be, I'm hoping for goals. I'm hoping for like a 3-3 or a 4-3 game. But your trust is going to be cagey. So I'm going to say 1-1 and sit on the fence. I don't think Arteta can afford. It's actually a must-win for him, but he can't afford to lose this. So yeah, that's it, ladies and gentlemen, for the team. I'm going to refresh the page. I'm sure they've already unlocked it. Yes, they have. Yeah, this is my past team for game week 12. You see, it's now looking good now. We are back. I never played my wild card, and I've persisted with Arsenal and Palmer and all them likes during the hard fixtures. I could have easily swapped and did the hokey cokey and came back, but I'm glad that I stuck to my instinct. I have 2 free transfers now. Murillo comes out. This is just my bus team. They call it a bus team because just in case I get hit by a bus, at least I know that my team is locked for the future game weeks. That's why it's called a bus team. In case I get hit by a bus and I perish, this is how my team is going to look for the rest of the season. So who am I going to captain actually next week? I'm captaining Palmer and I'm vice captaining Saka away to Leicester. You see, my team is looking good. 2 free transfers. I'll be looking to bring in the Chelsea and Brighton. Those are the 2. I could have brought in United. In the short term, United have the 3 best fixtures in my opinion. But there's too many unknowns. Too many unknowns for United. They have the three best fixtures. If you have Garnacho, Fernandes, I think our next three fixtures, Leicester, Ipswich, and Everton. I didn't go for them. I feel like if you wanted to go for United players, this week was the week. This was the week because of these next three. After that, they are tough. But we'll have Emma in them. You never know. You never know. I could have bought Mazraoui or Garnacho or whoever, but as I've said, I like to keep my 2 free transfers. Like have 2 in the bag so that I can make any changes that I need to make if they're emergency. My team is here. It hasn't started. It'll start soon. Okay, I'll quickly go through a few managers on the top manager league. It's getting heating up there. I'm top, but I'm just top by 5 points, guys. I can easily drop this week. Ryan Poli is there at number 2. He's a Liverpool supporter. So, yeah, I know he's going to have Liverpool coverage. Salah captain. Yeah, it's a swing for me. I have Haaland, he has Salah. If he does well, he goes ahead of me. If Haaland does well, I go ahead of him or I stay ahead of him. It's fine margins, good team. He has the United coverage. His bench, I would have played Havertz Welbeck, but Welbeck has been doing well, to be fair. As I've mentioned, I'm going to be bringing in Brighton players after this week. You see, after the City game, they have Brighton, Bournemouth, Southampton, Fulham, Leicester, Palace, Everton. Brighton and Chelsea are the teams I'll be looking at after this. So yeah, that's Poli's team. He has a good team. Musasa there at number 3. He's also, he's Captain Solanke. I think he's made a few changes. He's Captain Solanke. He has Kulusevski now. He didn't have those last week. He has Salah, Trent, Diaz. Then he has Mbumo, Mazraoui, Onana, double United defense, Haaland. That's a brilliant team, Musasa. Good on you. I hope you didn't take heat for that. Then Kulu Machamba, Box FC, Box by 10, Springboks FC. He has the double City defense. I don't think that will keep a clean sheet, but we never know. Gvardiol scores every time. He captain Cunha. Well, that good luck to him, man. He captain Cunha. I actually wish him all the luck. That's a brave call, and that's playing it your own way. He has Salah, Fernandes, Wood. This is a good team, actually. Brentford, I expect them to score goals. You see, good team. Good on you, Kulu. Then we got Keeler there, Cabello. He played his bench boost. Oh, wow. Okay, people are playing their chips now. He kept 10 Palmer against Arsenal, and he's an Arsenal fan. Wow. He bought Mbumo. Okay, I know he bought Mbumo because he had Luis Diaz. So he bought Mbumo for Diaz. Who else did he bring in? He brought Lewis Hall. And he has Callahan on the bench. Good luck to him. Onana as well. Okay, bench boost mate. Okay. Oh, he sold Raya. Okay. Good on you, lad. Good on you. Sir Alex. Oh, I missed Sohail Mohammed. That's not... Okay, he captain Haaland. Hopefully we can do well. He has Mbumo, Salah, Rogers, Palmer. That's just a template pick of 4. Every manager, I believe, wants to have these 4 midfielders. That's the template for me. I have 3 of the 4, but I have Haaland. He also has Haaland with them. Oh, geez, this is a good team, actually. But, he has Saliba on the bench. Nice. People actually have good teams this week. So we are all getting green arrows. Sir Alex, he played his wild card last week. So he has Flappy, Trent, Mazraoui. Yeah, I probably brought Mazraoui. I don't think he had Mazraoui last week. We both have Strand Larsen. Yeah, I think he brought Mazraoui for someone. He's attacking the Man United fixtures. Okay, yeah, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you had a fabulous time. I see there's only one person watching now because I've been rambling for over an hour and 20 minutes, but it is what it is. There's no early kickoff. I'm not in a hurry. I'm about to watch the fixtures. I hope you had an incredible time of it. I hope you enjoyed watching my videos, just like I love enjoying giving it to you guys. So yeah, thank you once more. Hopefully you have a fabulous weekend. Box to win as well, Man United to win, Liverpool to lose, City to lose, Arsenal to lose. Yeah, hopefully that's how it is. If you enjoy my content, please make sure you give me a like there. You know, I see I have 5 likes, so thank you very much. Subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell on your bottom right hand corner, just so you know when I go live. You get notified, because you never know when I go live. You just mangala there, I'm there, guys. So yeah, peace.